Hello, and welcome to the Midnight Walkers. So, part of my coverage of the Steam Next Fest for October 2025, this is a zombie extraction game. So, similar to other... I hate to use the term extraction shooter because a lot of them aren't actually shooters, like Dark and Darker and a few others. And this is one of those where, it does have guns, you can get them, but you're mostly going to be using melee. So I'd hesitate to say extraction shooter, it's more of an extraction hack and slash. To be honest, I think just extraction looter would be the better term, but yeah, it's an extraction game. Go in, grab loot, get out, possibly kill a load of other players while you're on your way through. You get the picture. The twist on this one is that you're basically going through a tower that's filled with zombies, and you have to get out by these escape pods. There's not much setup other than that. I don't know why we're in a giant skyscraper full of zombies, and why we're going in and out all the time. Literally the game guide is this. There's some actual tutorial in there, but it's a bit bare bones and basic. There's a few different classes you can play as. There's this bruiser, there's also basically like a rogue, there's like a ranger, and there's weirdly a bartender who's basically like a sort of alchemist, I guess, to put it into fantasy game terms. They're a sort of alchemist person. But yeah, so you go in with your gear. You'll know it all by now. There's our gear. We're taking in just the basic items. We can buy stuff at the vendors or even do missions for them. We can level up our character. As we level up, we might unlock some different perks. Oh yeah, and we've got... Yeah, here we can choose the different perks that we get. So you get a few for each character and things. But basically, yeah, it's a run-of-the-mill extraction game, except instead of it being shoot other guys, it's just beat the snot out of zombies. We'll get in a game, and I can show it off to you a bit. Looks like we're straight in. But yeah, the unique twist of this is, like I say, it's zombies, and you go up these floors in the building. So instead of a circle, what happens is the floors start closing. Don't know why, but they do, and when a floor is going to close, it will basically... on the little icon on the bottom right next to the map telling you what floors are still there, the floor will start flashing red, like in the text. And then it will give you a warning if you're on that floor, saying 60 seconds till it closes, and then gas fills the area. So that's how it works. We're in the rookie mode, because again I've basically just started out. And we'll get started. So you'll kind of get it. It's a bit of a standard affair at this point, isn't it? You know, it's open things. There's an interaction time. We can get his weapon out as well here. We'll grab all this. We can take it all back. So as you can see there, we have a revolver, but it's not for this class, so other classes can use a revolver. I like playing as the big hard case melee dude. You can see in the bottom right we've got the map and the different floors labelled on it. And we've got some zombies. Right. We can do a big heavy attack. And this is kind of where my first gripes with the game come in. So, firstly, so we can kill the zombie, we can loot the zombie. I think there's yet another one behind me. Right. And yeah, as we're getting hit by that and grabbed, these are still hitting us. So you've probably noticed, basically, there's no stagger. You can't really stagger the zombies at all. So you kind of have to walk up, bait their attacks out, and then kind of hit them. So we walk, we try to bait their attack out. Problem is you move about as slow as your average snail. But that's what you have to try and do. Of course, it's an extraction game, so we do have healing items, but they heal for an absolutely pathetic amount. So we've gone from 51 health to 72. Woo! We'll use another one. And we've gone up to 93. There we go. There's not really... I find there's not much point looting the actual zombies, especially like if they're basic weaker ones. And the only thing that's really worth taking out is things that are like at least green items. And you're usually going to be grabbing the more useful stuff from... yeah, from the boxes typically. Actually, yeah, we probably don't need... Don't really need these. We'll keep the gear. The gear might actually be worth something if we take it back and sell it. I've yet to extract. I've had a game where I just got basically killed by zombies. And I've had another game where I got a bit further, got a bit of loot, and then someone who was absolutely geared out of, geared up to their eyeballs, went around and literally wiped the entire lobby, including me. While we're just at a chest, they walked up and like two-shot me. So, fun. I will say, as far as like these extraction games go, it has a fairly like novel concept, at least this one. Seem to be getting lots of crap here. I'm not seeing anyone at least at the moment. Just zombies. You'll notice. Oh, yeah, that one a bit. Yeah, the zombie killing is really poor. Like, your melee range isn't as far as you would think. The zombies do not stagger at all. There is zero stagger on the zombies. There we go, something worth some actual money. But in addition to that, it's like I said, so it's not just a case like, okay, there's not much stagger, but the animations are kind of rubbish, and you've only got 2 attacks. Like, I can do this, and I can do the overhead. You can kind of like hold it to charge them a bit, but that's about it. That's all you have. It's the most basic of melee systems. We'll get this open. Now he's going to get here before we're done opening. Right, move back a bit. Hit him. We're probably going to go down here. I think we can... You can see at the bottom right, we've got like the V button for like a cigarette. So I think we can get a little bit of health back doing that. But it requires us to stand around for a while. And we can't look behind us. So we're currently on the basement floor. But we're, let's see, so floor 1, 2 and 4 are going to be going soon. So yeah, we're able to get a bit of health back via that. We'll look around some more boxes. We didn't finish opening this, did we? Baseball bat's probably better than gloves, I guess. I mean, we can fit both, but I'm going to actually leave those behind. I want some spare room in case I need to just grab something and go. So yeah, we're only going to grab greens or above now. But yeah, you know, it's... As I say, the zombie combat is poor. The actual gore is... The gore isn't bad. Ooh, we've got a bandage, so we can actually heal a bit. But mainly I'm thinking, you know, there's no, like, dismemberment, there's no... It's not particularly satisfying, it doesn't feel that fluid, the animations are rather poor. Right, let's see if we can get something from these boxes. Looks quite big, whatever it is. Composite bow. Well, again, it's not a green item or anything, so we'll... That's a green item, though. Okay, we've got some stuff. As I say, it kind of does all the things that you would expect a zombie game to do. Oh, actually, the floor above us is floor 1, isn't it? So yeah, that's going to be gassed. Floor 2 is about to be gassed. I think that's a recycling thing, so we could put things in there if we wanted. But we won't. There's floor 3. And that looks like the end of it, but we have got the lift here. We'll push to go up. Looks like this can go to floor 4. But 4th floor is closed, so that won't take us where we need to go. We need to get to the lift up here. And that's a dead person. Right, so I want to be careful about this. But we can grab some gear. Right. Cannot grab these cigarettes now. Okay, right. We're a bit better off. Now, with this floor closing... we probably want to, yeah, get over to the lift. Which should be... I think it was up here it was marked on us. Yeah, right. Before we go, we'll just get in the corner. And we'll just take a cigarette, just to recover some health while we've got a moment, before the floor closes. No one's going to come over here, hopefully, with the floor closing soon. Hopefully everyone's left. To just give us a moment. Looks like a lot of people are kind of dying on the right. Looks like someone's died to a walker, another one's died to a walker. And there's been 3 player deaths. as you can see, the player combat is a bit more... It's kind of crap. That's been most of my experience for the game so far. It's very much a case of, like, especially with the sledgehammer, you just kind of feel a bit like you're flailing at each other. Like, as I say, it's bad enough that the zombie combat isn't brilliant. Like, the head explosions are alright, but the animation's a bit rubbish, the attack patterns are basic, there's no kind of staggering or blocking or parrying or anything. There's no... yeah, I don't think you... I haven't tried because I've only been using, obviously, this guy, so it's blunt weaponry. But I don't think you can dismember them. I've not seen any dismemberments, which is odd for a zombie game not to have. But yeah, when it comes to player combat, well, it is a bit rough, to say the least. But yeah, it's janky. It reminds me a lot of Dark and Darker, where it feels more like you're just kind of flailing at each other rather than actually kind of properly fighting. You know, you're kind of swinging, but it feels more luck than anything else. Like, you're swinging at the hand. I've often seen on the spectates, like, people just like trying to duck and jump and things, trying to like do the best they can to avoid being hit within like the confines of a very limited system here. Right. Anyway, I'm gonna try a different character. Let's invite list. Change characters down here. So we're gonna try someone with a blade, and I'm actually gonna see if I can perhaps maybe, because I'm curious, if I use a blade, will I be able to dismember a zombie by any chance? Let's see if we can take maybe an arm or something off of one. But yeah, again, it's the zombie combat is rather disappointing. I think just again that, okay, you can crush their skulls, but that's it. And then you get into combat with players, and like, again, I say it reminds me of Dark and Darker, but it's honestly, it's worse. And yeah, like the animations, and there's no blocking as far as I'm aware. There isn't like a parry system or anything. You just kind of swing and bonk, and all you can really do is kind of, well, yeah. Is he like trying to shoot me? There we go. So you just kind of have to like walk up to someone and kind of like time the attack so that it hits as you go up to them, and then try to like step back as they hit you. And in case you're wondering, yeah, this is the max speed that we can move at. It's actually one of those games where this is the run speed, and you press the shift key to actually slow down instead. But yeah, so we end up with, like I said, very, very clunky combat. You can kind of see it here. So you can see what it looks like in third person here. They're just kind of these long, big, slow, clunky looking animations. At least it looks like this one has a little combo to it. And our charge attack is different. I wonder if we wait till the end of that, does it just like release it? Yeah. There we go. I nearly forgot as well, we do actually have like these, so there's different classes as well. So you've been able to see that there's basically, as I said at the start, there's like a ranger, there's like a bartender, alchemist guy who creates like beers that can heal you. And it can also do like poisons. Really? Harem pants. Okay. That's something. What activated the lift? I might need to just be wary here. Someone might be knocking around. Right, they're similar to what we've got, but we'll take them anyway because they're green. They'll be a bit more valuable. And yeah, these, by the way, are the potential escape points. What you can do is, so they'll come up at random. They'll just open up, and you'll be able to get in them. But you do have a choice as to whether you want to get in that, or you can get the key for it when it becomes available, and then use that key to open up any escape point from then on. Really? That hit me apparently. Like I said, there's F-all stagger. I feel like I wasn't close enough to get hit by them then, but apparently I was. Oh, and we don't start with any healing as this person. Okay. That's going to be awkward then. Yeah, this has not got enough reach. Let him get the animation out. There we go. Right. We're probably going to die in a second, but we'll see if we can grab anything in the meantime. Unlikely as it is. We're getting a decent amount of coins. We do have like a little secure container down here, and I'm actually going to use it. When you use your secure container, so just like other extraction games, it does keep everything there safe, but the drawback to using that... Did I see a light there? No, it's that light flickering, so it wasn't an actual person, right. But yeah, the drawback to using that... treasure dismantle only, lipstick for sale only. The only small items, I think they're somewhat valuable. But yeah, if you use your item thing, the secure container, you can't actually trade those items. I'm gonna try and actually take an arm off of them here. Oh, he was nowhere near me then. That's the load of rubbish, that. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't actually. Surprisingly nimble git, isn't it? But we do need to heal something. Nope. I was going to say I'll try and heal a bit, but then I was pressing 1 to bring out the katana. 1 does not bring out the katana if you've got the cigarette in your hand, it looks like. You have to swap. Well, I have to press... It looks like I can only get out of that animation by pressing cancel, rather than just swapping to a weapon, so... My mistake, I suppose, though. Don't blame me, they didn't include a proper tutorial. We'll just run it back. I'm also wondering if, since I'm using a bladed weapon, can I dismember them at all, is what I'm trying to test here, but I don't think it's possible. We did hack at the one's arm before that guy. And also the zombies are surprisingly quick again, granted it's a confined area, but they're surprisingly quick considering that they're bloody zombies. I really dislike the whole cigarette healing thing. How fast is this at attacking? It's... Problem is you lose the range that this has. It might be an idea to just approach zombies with, oh, you can't do the stab. Because that's what would be a good idea, if you could do that repeatedly. And for whatever reason, it's not letting me right click to attack at the moment. Not sure why. Maybe it's a bug. So it's only letting me use the left click now. Anyway, we'll get in. I think as well, I've not actually looked at this person yet, so I can... Because each character does have some skills. So we can basically step backwards and remove debuffs to evade an attack, and we can poison our weapon. The abilities are kind of rubbish. Like on the guy we played as first, his abilities are his next hit will hit slightly harder, and his other brilliant ability was that his he can move slightly faster for 4 seconds. Amazing. Wow. I think I have more powerful abilities than that guy, you know, like, yes, I can move fast for longer than 4 seconds. It's called running. I know, crazy, right? Anyway. So it looks like we're on like a nightclub floor this time. Yeah, we're up on floor 14, you can kind of see there on the bottom right. Grab some small valuable items. What have we got in here? So I think these chests are more like gear in these. So I think the wooden ones are gear, and the more plasticky metal ones are weapons, I think. Not always, but yeah. These tend to have actual like armour in them, don't they? Right. Anyway, right. So we'll keep moving through the floor. Oh. Oh, a sprinter. Well, runner. Whatever. 1, 2. He's a bit of a rare zombie. He might actually have something on him. He did not. Really? I'm even moving away from them as I was doing that then as well. Okay, apparently these swings are just not connecting. Let's try and get that left arm off, shall we? See if... because I'm curious as to, yeah, I don't think there's any kind of dismemberment. Like, I was hitting his arm then on the left, and I was hitting his right shoulder, trying to avoid the head. And it looks like there's, like, you can destroy their head, but it looks like there isn't any dismemberment whatsoever, which, again, for a zombie game, that's kind of a standard. It'd be like shooter games not having, like, attachment systems on the weapons. You kind of have to these days. Okay, there's a couple of things here. Yeah, they move real quick when you're not looking. Let's try a weapon ability. So, poison on the weapon. There we go. He's poisoned. I felt no difference. It looks like it doesn't really do a lot. I think we've got all the valuables here. We don't need to kill the rest. Oh, we'll have to kill that one though, because he's a sprinter, and we're going to die again. I do hate that I have to like swing twice so I can get this long-reaching thrust. But yeah, as you can see there, yeah, you absolutely can kill them and just like take their heads off, but we've swung at their arms more than that and not cut an arm off, so I'm pretty certain in saying that no further dismemberment is in the game. But looks like someone's been around here, which means they might have already been through and we can kind of take a break, knowing that they're not going to come back. I'm guessing they went that way, because I've not bumped into them. But we need to heal. So we'll do exactly that. There's the staircase next to us as well. They might have just gone down there. Right. It really is the worst healing mechanic I've seen. It's cool, it's novel, but god damn, it takes way too long. Like this makes you far too vulnerable. And the fact that you can only look left and right as if your character just loses the ability to walk while we're doing this, or even turn the head properly. Like, why would we lose the ability to like look behind us while we're doing this? Because it's rather important that we're able to do that. Right. Now, we do have like an exit detector. So we can kind of use this to try and find an exit. But I'm guessing if it's not coming up saying anything, then that means that there aren't any available on this floor. Not that we've got much that's worth taking with us. Now, the floor below us has just closed. So we don't want to go to floor 14. As we can see, if we look through here, it's just green, it's gas. But we can go to, say, maybe floor 13. Or we might find something here. Right, so let's see what we've got. That's pretty good. Oh, that was a person. But yeah. Let's see how much we did with them. So they're called Clen, it looks like on the right side. So there's a person there. That's not who killed us. Clen. We barely even did anything to them. Let me guess. Yeah. Gear disparity seems to really matter in this, I will say. Like, we've hit them pretty hard. Like, we got, I think, at least 2 or 3 hits on them then. I definitely saw 2 connect. I think the third one missed, but that barely did a thing to them. And I used my poison on my weapon. In fact, could I hear someone walking around on theirs then? No, so they're just Oh yeah, you can hear someone moving. We might be able to see a fight in a second. Oh, it might have just been a zombie. But we'll have a quick look at everyone else. So, zombie killing there. What have we got over here? Next guy. These two are duking it out over the exit thing here. So now neither of them can leave because they're both, I guess, in a stalemate. Oh no, I guess he's gonna let them go. I'm surprised he is. But there you go, that's how you exit. What you can do if you find an exit, as I say, you can go up to it and you can get the key code and it closes the exit again. But then you can use that key code to open any exit that you want then. So you can go up to an inactive one and just open it. So you can basically say, look, I don't want to extract now, but give me the code and I'll just extract when I want at any exit then. So there's a system around that. Which isn't a bad system actually. It's quite good for if you're in like a group, you don't have to all leave. If you're in a group, you could literally have like one or... You could just collect the codes and then all leave at once, basically. But I don't think you can use an exit that someone's already used when you do that. But, so you'd have to find 3 exits. But you can still keep the codes in the meantime. But it's not a bad system. This guy's still... I'm guessing as well as he's got some green items. Looks like on the top right, most people died to zombies in this. 2 people got killed by humans. This Bakaloo person killed someone, and that Clen killed someone. So he's got some decent stuff on him. He's moving down to floor 9. We've got this guy who's up in the higher floors and has just died, looks like. So we're left with, yeah, 2 people. I think they're both going to be on the same floor now. I think the zombies that spawn in get more dangerous as you go as well. So as I see now, like these looks like there's 2 spitters or something. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so he's gone. So we're now down to this Clen guy. But I think the main, again, I think the main problem is like as much as I really like the idea, and God, I can hear that like walking sound as if someone's around him, but I think it's the sound of zombies actually, because there's no one left. I think if I press left click, oh no, this guy. We've got this guy left, so it might be, yeah. Let's have a look at the map. Are they... Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's in the room across. But yeah, it's... The idea is quite novel. I do like a good zombie game. And it's a zombie game, so... It's a zombie game coming out near Halloween. Like, it's going to leave the Steam Next Fest and go into early access after this. This is kind of like their final playtest. But the problem is, it's like, yeah, so I should, again, being someone who likes a good zombie game and it's close to Halloween, I should absolutely be in love with this on paper, but I'm just not. I think it's a combination of things. I think it's, again, like, really simplistic kind of bare bones melee combat that doesn't have a particularly high skill ceiling. Like, I play a lot of like spectacle fighters, think like God of War and things, that sort of stuff. I've played that, Devil May Cry. Like, I'm not unfamiliar to those types of games where it's got quite complex combat systems. But I've then gone and played things like Skyrim and such. Oh, here we go, the final battle. You see what I mean when I say it looks kind of stupid and really simple? And yeah, they're both jumping over each other. There's no blocking or stamina system out, so they're just kind of both doing this. He got him. He's the last player. The game ends in 2 minutes 40 seconds. He'll be looting up, grabbing all his goodies, and then he'll be leaving. But yeah, we at least got some XP and things for that. And we got some money because it saved it to our storage pouch. Right. But as I was saying, the main issues I tend to think around it, like I say, it's the really janky melee combat system. As I say, I'm not unfamiliar to like games with really good melee combat systems, and I have played ones with fairly simplistic ones, but the problem you get is, to do a complex combat system, you have to typically be in third person. You're limited by what you can do with the animations in first person. It's why lots of shooters are in first person, but not in third, because it really... first person games really kind of lend themselves towards first person shooters, because you can literally look down the sights of the gun. Shooters are so much better in first person, and it's why like all games are like all first person, well, all shooters typically are first person shooters. There are very few that are third person, and that's purely because of that reason. That said, most games with any kind of good melee combat system are typically third person, because you can't do like cool spins and flips and kicks in first person. It looks weird and it's really jarring and gives you motion sickness. So that's why you typically do them in third person. Like that, you will never have a first person God of War game. It will never happen. It's not to say that you can't have first person melee combat, but expect it to be simplified. So games like Skyrim are not known for their amazing combat system. It's known for having an extraordinarily simple melee combat system. As are most zombie games actually. But at least they make up for it by having this kind of like hack and slash, really gory system with the zombies, where you can literally slice off limbs and there's really good gore, and it at least feels really satisfying. And I'm afraid to say that this is neither complex and fun with the melee combat, that it's really cool and engaging when fighting other players. No, it feels like two idiots walking into a room and just flailing at each other. That's what it feels like. It's one of the reasons why I kind of eventually just gave up on Dark and Darker, just because of the janky as hell melee combat. One thing I remember was you would oftentimes have literally like, barbarians like looking directly up at the ceiling and whipping their mouse down, and they'd like catch you on the head and insta kill you even if you're using your shield and stuff. I remember that being a thing. And you'd often see like guys with shields like crouching constantly but looking like directly upwards, like they're doing a testudo formation. It just looks really stupid and isn't fun to do, is the problem. And you have the same problem here, because it's trying to do PvP with a first-person melee system. The only games I've seen that have done that even reasonably well have been the Chivalry series, like Chivalry and similar games like Mordhau and stuff. think it was called Mordhau. But then it doesn't make up for it with the with the gore. There's no dismount, none of that. It's like games like Dead Island 2, and I've recently been on Dying Like the Beast. Really, really sell the gore. Like, it's super satisfying to kill the zombies. It really is. Going on like Dying Like the Beast lately, you know, you're slicing zombies up with like big axes, and it's brilliant when you just bring this huge axe down on them and it just like bifurcates the zombie. And then you activate your beast mode and run up to all the others and literally like pull their hearts out of their chest and then beat them to death with their own arms and stuff. It's like, yep, that's kind of awesome. And it's just the combat here feels clumsy and basic, and like the zombies, the other thing as well is the zombies don't even stagger or anything, so there's not even, so when you're attacking the zombies, it really is like you have to walk up to them, then walk back to kind of like bait the attack, and then kind of hit them as if you're playing like really old, like what's it? It's like you're playing like Elder Scrolls Morrowind or something. It's like really old, basic combat systems. At least on a lot of other games, like on Dying Light that I've just been on, and this is true even for things like another zombie game I was on when it got updated over the summer, was No More Room in Hell 2. You would have an enemy running up to you, and the first thing you do is you have a move that can stagger them. So on Dying Light you've got a kick. On No More Room in Hell 2 you have a bash, and you would basically stagger them, then attack them, and then when they attack you do a little parry, and then you go back to then staggering, then you hit them with like a big overhead, and then they'll usually get ripped in two. So there's a bit of a back and forth with it, and it feels quite satisfying. But with this, it's like, no, you're doing this basic like shuffle forward, melee attack, shuffle backwards, they do theirs. It feels almost like you're in turn-based combat. Anyway, I'll go prattling on because I could get into like the whole thing like melee combat systems all day, but it's not bad. There's like some basic skills you can swap out here. You've got 4 skill slots. They very much copied the homework of Dark and Darker there. Everything's kind of as you would expect it to be. Vendors you can buy certain things from, you know.
Welcome. Ready to put your fate to the test?
When it shuts up. When you increase your affinity with them, they'll sell you more stuff. And obviously better stuff as well. And you do that by doing missions. In fact, I'm fairly certain. Oh, actually, no, we're playing as a different character, so we won't have these accepted yet. But you can also, there's a marketplace, you can trade things, buy stuff, all that sort of stuff. It's got everything you would expect of this type of game. But apart from it being zombies and being in a skyscraper, there's nothing else new. And I will say, credit where it's due, those are novel ideas. I think one of the problems with games like, say, Dark and Darker was that it just did a circle because all the other extraction rails were doing a circle. Like, okay, the map closes in with this circle. It doesn't work on interior maps. It's horrendous. You can get areas where you're kind of locked in a room by the circle, and if you know, where you're like caught in a corner and you're just waiting to die, and it's awful. You can also have problems where if you've got any kind of verticality to the map where you can go up to like an upper floor or anything, it really messes with you being able to read the map correctly and maneuver around. It causes, again, like really bad problems. Whereas the way that this game does it, where it's all different floors and then the different floors close as you go down, yeah, that's actually a really, really good way of doing it. Dark and Darker could probably do something similar where they just say, okay, this floor of the dungeon will close in 10 minutes, you must find the stairs down to the next floor if you want to not die. they could do something like that, and it would probably make the game 10 times better. So the idea with the floors closing off individually on this is actually a really good way of handling how to do like something similar to the circle that works on an interior map. And yeah, it's nice to see again that it's zombies and not like, oh look, it's just guys with guns again. I think it was one of the things that made Dark and Darker quite novel, that it was not just a Tarkov clone, it was its own thing with different classes and characters and monsters and enemies and stuff, and it was all in like a D&D setting and so on and so forth. And I will, so yeah, credit where it's due, they've done some cool things there. They have a good roadmap. There's a lot of this is already in the game, as you can see. Steam Next Fest, most of this has just been added into the game, and this is what they've got planned for early access. You can kind of see, so they're going to add some more polish, combat experience polishing. So it might be worth coming back and trying it out once this battle experience update has happened, perhaps, because this is pre-early access at the moment. They've got a lot of time to actually fix the combat system, and it really needs fixing. Apparently they're planning a PvE mode, but I will admit, all of these games promise a PvE mode, very few of them deliver. There's going to be bosses, there's going to be different zombie types, things like that. So it might be worth keeping an eye on at least. Like, I won't dismiss this straight away. I would say keep an eye on it. But don't be ready, don't think you're going to be blown away by it. You know, you're probably going to want to, again, probably hold off for a while, I would say, with this. But for now though, this has been the Midnight Walkers. And yeah, like I say, it's pretty much a just run-of-the-mill extraction game with the novelty of zombies and this like vertical skyscraper map as opposed to it being like a giant area. So possibly something to keep an eye on if you're interested. At the very least, it might provide you with some zombies to bash the heads of while it comes to Halloween. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. This is again part of my coverage of the Steam Next Fest for October 2025. Thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in watching more videos, there'll be more on the channel. I'll be putting them all into a playlist as we go. But for now, that's it for this one. I'll see you next time, and again, just subscribe if you want to keep track of all the different videos that I'll be putting on the channel for all these demos, and I'll see you in the next one.